Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alison, the online piano and online violin tutor. Now, this one technique will improve your violin playing, and I'm going to show you exactly what that technique is, how to do it, and why it will take your violin playing from 0 to 100. But before we do go into the video, I just want to welcome all of my new subscribers and all of my new watchers, and just tell you a little bit about my 1 to 30 violin course, which I know a lot of you have no idea that I have. So maybe you're just starting out on the violin, or you're doing your research, you're looking at a few videos, this, that and the other. But a good place to get started is with a violin course, and I have just the one for you. So my 1 to 30 violin course is a fully comprehensive and professional course that guarantees to take you from a complete beginner to an accomplished intermediate level by the end of it. The course is very simple and easy to understand without the commitment of an in-person tutor, but it does guarantee to give you the same level of skill that you would get from a private tutor. The course has been designed so that anyone of any age and any level can follow it. The lessons and videos are super easy to follow, and absolutely no prior knowledge of any instrument or music is needed to start this course. The course is going to cover everything from how to hold the violin, how to hold the bow, how to read music. There's going to be some technical exercises in there to prove your skill and dexterity, music theory, bowing techniques, more complex pieces, and just much, much more. There's no other course like this available on the internet, and the results and reviews absolutely speak for themselves. My course will take you from this to this. The course is fully downloadable, is available worldwide, and you can purchase from my shop, www.amsmusicshop.com. It is $59.99 US, and you can get started straight away. I should add in that these books are 100% downloadable, so there is nothing physical that will be shipped out to you. So all you're going to need is your violin and bow and your enthusiasm to get started. I'd also just like to quickly mention as well about my 2 subscription websites. I've got a Patreon one, and I've got my own one, onlineviolin.tutor.com. Both of them are exactly the same. They're just subscription websites, $10 monthly, but they give you access to my complete back catalogue of violin sheet music. There's some violin cover pieces in there as well. There's a little bit of easy piano music. There's some violin backing tracks. There's a couple of other bits and bobs as well. It's a $10 monthly subscription, but the catalogue is added to on a monthly basis. And off the top of my head, there are, I think, just over 800 sheets of easy violin sheet music that you can quickly gain access to. But it's either or, so don't subscribe. There's no need to subscribe to both of them. Either subscribe to my Patreon, either subscribe to my website. All the details will be underneath this video for you. Okay, so this is a bowing technique that I was taught when I was younger, and this will help you with your smooth bow transitions. So this isn't something that I would start with immediately. This is probably sort of an intermediate kind of bowing technique, but basically it is just making sure that your bow fingers are flexible enough so that when you are going from an up bow to a down bow, you get a nice smooth transition. Now what that means is the difference between the sound. So it sounds very disjointed, sort of down, up, down, up. Now, if we've got a good finger flexibility, we're going to get a better transition and a better flow. So it's almost, we want it to sound almost as if you can't hear when I'm changing direction of the bow. You can't hear when I'm going from up bow to a down bow. Now obviously that's just very isolated playing with the open A string. So you are going to be able to hear it, but if I was playing this in corporation with a piece of music, you wouldn't necessarily hear those bow changes. But obviously when I'm not using my bow fingers to help me transition, you get that kind of you get that kind of jolted stop in between me going from an up bow to a down and a down to an up. However, when we do flex the fingers, it is a lot smoother. So how do we do this exercise? Well, first of all, we need to make sure that we've got our bow hold correct. I'm not going to go into detail of that. I'm going to assume that you guys have got your bow hold. You just need to make sure that everything is bent. So you need to make sure that your thumb is bent. And what we are aiming to do is to bring the bow into the palm of our hands, like so. So it's almost as if we're pushing the bow in, or bringing the bow into the hand, sorry, pushing it out, bringing it in, pushing it out. Now what you can do is try it with a pen or a pencil. While you're at your desk or you're at work or anything like that and you obviously don't have your bow to hand, you can try it with a pencil. It might be a little bit easier actually because a pencil's very short compared to a bow that's very weighted, but it'll still give you the general idea. So, you know, get your bow hold best you can on your pencil. And all we want to do is just try and bring the pencil into the palm of our hand and then throw it away again. So don't worry if your finger slips off of the pencil. Obviously it's not ideal. When you are doing this movement on the strings, your fingers won't slip because obviously you've got the violin, the strings on the violin helping you push down, so you won't slip at all. So that's step one. First thing is to make sure that we're doing this, and we can do that. How we translate that onto the strings or onto the violin is so. Now, start with putting the bow right where your index finger is. So you're going to be right at the heel of the bow. So basically, you're probably going to be about an inch, I would say, from the actual frog. So an inch from the end of the bow. Now that sounds a bit weird, but we're not really actually aiming to get a good sound from this, or we're not really aiming to do much movement. All we're doing really is to just get that bow flexed. So we're really just, we're starting with the fingers down, if you like, and we're moving, as we move the bow down, we're pushing those fingers out. As we move the bow up, the fingers are coming in, or the bow is coming into the hand. So I'm not aiming to kind of move the bow particularly. I'm just aiming to just stretch the fingers out, bring the bow in. Stretch the fingers out, bring the bow in. And I'm probably not even moving an inch. Maybe an inch, something like that. But the sound is terrible, and that's fine. Ignore the sound. We're not worried about the sound at this point. This is just going to help us transition on to the next stage. So that's it. You can see how my hand is moving. Down, throw away the fingers. Up, bring them into you. Okay. Now, once we've got that, how that moves on next is when we are transitioning from up bow to a down bow and we're playing normally. So So as we are going up, we're bringing our fingers in, and as we are going down, we're going to be pushing them out, just like we did up here. But obviously we're now doing that with longer bows. So if you see me bow, so as I'm changing direction with the bow, you can see my fingers are coming up, and as I'm going down, the fingers are going pushing away, and then the bow is coming up, fingers are coming in, and as I just change, go around the corner and change, my fingers are pushing out, and then as I change again, my fingers are coming up. So it's exactly what we did here, but obviously just as I'm doing it here with the bow change. Now when we do that, you can hear the change in bow is a lot smoother. If I didn't do that, we get that kind of da, da, da. You get that kind of jolt with it. So that's the exercise. It's quite a difficult exercise to do. I certainly wouldn't start doing this exercise if I were a beginner or anything like that, but I would if I've been playing for a little while, because otherwise I think you're just going to find it quite frustrating to do. But the first step is just to do it, you know, with the bow on its own, or, you know, try it with a pencil first. Either or. A pencil's really good if you are sort of, you know, in the office or don't have your violin bow to hand. So that's step number one, to do that. Step number two would be to go right at the heel, so that you're about an inch away, and then start bent and start with a down bow and push those fingers out, and then up we push the fingers or bring the fingers back in. Down, push out, up, fingers in. And we're not worried about sound, we're not worried about movement, we're simply concentrating on this. It's quite difficult to do. To demonstrate that, if I do it with my left hand, bearing in mind that my left hand is the equivalent of a beginner, and this is why I say don't do it as a beginner, but let me see if I cannot embarrass myself, but I think I've pretty much got the bow hold. It is very alien to me, obviously, because it is my left hand, but it's very difficult to do because I can feel some of the fingers wanting to move and then my little finger not wanting to move. So this is the kind of thing that you're probably going to be experiencing. So I guess I'm probably better at it than someone who's never done this exercise before, but only because my brain knows what it's supposed to be doing with the right hand. So I've almost kind of just got insider knowledge really on that one. So I can only do it just simply because I know, you know, I know the movement, but it's, my fingers don't want to be moving. You can see it's just the bow kind of feels like it's slipping out. Some fingers want to move more than others. I'm not going to bother playing on the violin. That's just, you know, that's irrelevant. But that's the kind of thing that you should be experiencing. You can see it's very jolted. Fingers aren't really moving too well, and then my thumb is slipping out. Yet when I do it with my right hand, all the fingers move all at the same time. You can move, they're all down at the same level, like that. And they're moving very quickly, and I don't have any problems with it. So what I'm experiencing with my left hand is probably what you guys are going to be experiencing. Not all of the fingers are going to want to move at the same time or quick, and it's going to slip, the bow is going to slip out of the hand. But you must get used to doing that first before you put that onto the violin, or you just won't, you won't get the movement. So this one technique will guarantee to improve your playing, and how it's going to do that is just to take the sound of your playing up so many extra levels, because it's going to make you sound more like a professional, because your bowing is going to sound smoother and less kind of disjointed in a way. So there we go. I hope you have found this video useful. So don't forget to check out my 1 to 30 violin course and my Patreon website and or my subscription website, which I'll have with more information and linked underneath this video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.